go back to something like a zombie. There's the classic zombie from the 1950s, and then there's, Danny Boyle's 28 Days Later, kinetic zombies.
Right.
And now there's, like with Walking Dead, there are zombies that seem to still have that, the brain is still there, and there seems to be that bit of recognition of the former life.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you're dealing with a zombie, you have to first take into consideration what type of zombie it is, and then build up from there as to how the zombie movement should be instructed to the actor.
Exactly. In terms of zombies, rather than, like you said, there doesn't usually tend to be an individual personality to a zombie. They tend to be, all the zombies in one film or TV show tend to all have, the same kind of personality. But from one film to another film, the zombies in that film may have an overall a different kind of personality and a different way of moving than the ones in another film. This is something which I learned right away. Is the first time I did zombie movement, I worked on a feature, and then just a few months later, I did another feature for the same producers, and I created an entirely different way for the zombies to move in both features, because the reason that the zombies were zombies in each of the films was different.
Right.
Sometimes it's, I don't know, in some films it's radiation exposure, and in other films it's something else that caused them to become zombies. So I thought, why not make that part of the way that they move? Why not incorporate that? Not to mention that one of the first things the director on the first feature said was, the reason I asked you to come here is because I didn't want to just say to my actors, move like zombies, and have everybody instantly do this and start start doing the old cliche of what zombies is. He wanted the movement to be there for a reason and to be specific to the story. In this film, for instance, the reason that the people were zombies, this was something that it took place in an old Mexican town where decades earlier someone had killed all the townspeople, and now they had come back to life to get revenge. So because of that, that's something very different than radiation exposure created these zombies. So I thought, all right, these zombies have some kind of intention, so I made them more like hunters. I created a movement for them that was more like they were hunting their prey because they were out for revenge. They weren't just randomly flesh-eating, try and trap any living thing kind of zombies. They had a particular purpose, so I incorporated that into the way they move. But then the next film I did, it was more of a virus kind of thing, and we went for a totally different way of having the zombies move. So it's not like we were creating individual personalities for every zombie, but overall the zombies of one film and another film had a different reason or origin. So we gave them a type of movement that fit that story.
Interesting. It must be a lot of fun to actually craft the movements yourself and come up with that sort of, after looking at the script and understanding the type of movements that you want to create, to work those out yourself and almost plot them out, almost like a choreographer would kind of plot out what he wants the movement to look like before actually instructing anyone with it. Do you do something like that?
Yeah, it is fun to do. There's not, certainly it's not much on paper. It's a lot of, when I prepared for those, I watched a lot of zombie movies to begin with, so I could get in my head a lot of the things that had been done, and then a lot of it's just getting on my feet and trying things out and figuring out what looks interesting and what fits the story. And then also, once I come up with a concept, then I have to figure out how to make it work. Because for the coach, I have to understand the movement not just well enough to do it, but well enough to teach someone else how to do it. So I have to break it down and have a very clear understanding of exactly what I'm doing so that I'll know how to explain it to the other actors.
So thinking about the different types of characters that you're working with, and sometimes some of those slight details that makes the movement from one different to the other, I'm thinking about a zombie, which is an undead creature, and then a mummy, which is also an undead creature. What are some of the differences that you would focus on as a movement coach from those two types of characters?
Well, the best way to explain that is probably to show you.
Oh, okay.
Would
you be able to show me?
Try it out?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, well, we need to get on our feet for that, so
Okay. All right.
let's go.
Okay. What are some of the things that I have to do to become an effective zombie?
Well, one of the first things that I guess to tell you about the hunting zombie is what not to do.